Your audio cut out again, Evelyn.
I'm sorry, yes, I don't know why that's happening all the time, every time I'm doing a section like this, but I apologize. But I was saying that you need to analyze your competitors in order to understand what do they do, what do they don't, that you can actually go ahead and do better than they do. Like I said, maybe you have lower prices, maybe you offer customer service and they don't, maybe you have better opportunities for them to come and buy into the store or in the services that you offer. So the value proposition is that what are you going to offer to your preferred demographic or target audience that they should come to you and not the others. The customer may want to save money, time, or effort. They may be seeking a more natural way to do something. So it is also essential to find out what the customer likes about your existing solution. So this is why we need to come up with some value proposition. This is what I'm going to offer my clients because this is what I do. Next. Revenue stream, this is very, very important. You need to describe how your business generates revenue through the delivery of your value proposition. What is it that you are bringing to your customers, okay? So now you have to understand how is the company is going to make money by providing that support, either a product or a service. So you need to have different ways on which you make money. In this case, I put an example of maybe I'm selling books. Maybe I'm also offering office supplies, specialty fundraising events, you know, that I'm going to hold for my company. So I'm making revenues out of that. Maybe passport services. I mean, you understand what is you're going to your customers and how you are going to monetize.
Evelyn,
Yes.
you cut out again. So can you go back a little bit?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. So I was saying that there are different ways in which a company generates revenue. So it's up to you to understand what is it that you are going to do in your business. Is it selling a product or selling services? So you will have to also come up with ways on which you do your revenue evaluation. You know, how much money are you making from this? How much money are you making from another source? And I have an example here of different ways on which you are providing products or services and you can actually generate money. Okay. For that, I actually recommend usually my clients to do a financial forecast. What is it that you are going to be selling and how do you expect to make money this year, next year, and in about 5 years? Okay, because you will have a clear understanding of your financials, not only your expenses, but how is the money coming in? Revenue stream. One second. Next. Distribution channels. So when you are delivering a product or a service, you need to understand what channels are you going to use. It details how your customers are reached, your services are provided, your different distribution channels, and how your value proposition is delivered. If I'm going to provide a unique service, how am I going to do it? Am I going to offer e-commerce support? Am I going to offer in-store customer service? If you are selling a product, how are you planning to bring this product to your customers? Is it because you are going to sell it in store? You are going to sell online? Are you going to use a person that comes to the door knocking and selling like we used to do before? Selling one.
Evelyn, your audio cut out again. I'm sorry, you keep freezing periodically.
No problem. Just let me know and I'll go back. So I was saying that it depends on the type of services or products that you are bringing to your customers. If you are selling a product, you may want to sell it in a store. You might want to sell it through a catalog. You may want to do e-commerce or social media. And that way you will be bringing these products to your customers. However, you have to understand what is it that your customers are able to do. Sometimes people like to go online to social media to find out about new products. Sometimes they read a catalog. Sometimes they read the newspaper. Sometimes they just watch TV or radio broadcasting. So you have to do a research on the type of communication that these people prefer. So when you do your marketing plan, it's a good idea to say, my demographic likes to watch TV. So I'm going to do a TV commercial advertising my product or services. But we have to understand their preferences when we do research. So this will be the distribution channel, the one that is best for your customers. Next. Customer relationship, define and describe the primary relationship you have with your customers, including how you interact with them, how these interactions differ among the different types of customers, what different customers' needs are, and the level of support the different customers receive. So the customer relationship is very, very important. Like I said, in the previous slide, you have to understand what type of communication is better for your customers. And then you will use that to build this relationship with your customers. It could be via email. It could be via interaction with the Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. Can you circle back again?
Yes, and then in a few minutes, I'm going to move to another area of the house. Maybe I have better connection. So I was saying that when you do your customer relationship, you want to make sure that you do understand how is the best way to reach to your customers. And then you need to use that medium to actually create this relationship with your customers, with your clients. It could be via email. It could be via customers' loyalty plans, or maybe a database that you actually use to have all this information about your customers, and then use it to create that relationship. Because ultimately, your clients are the consumers of your products and services. Next slide. Key activities summarizes the key activities that allow your business to provide services and deliver on your value proposition. What does your business do? What services or products does it sell? So these are the key activities that you have to manage in order to make your business successful. What is it that it takes me to bring these services or these products to my clients? So let's work on these activities in order to know where is my business going, okay? Next slide. Key resources, and I'm going to just move right now to another area. Maybe I have better, connection, and I hope I do.
And someone from the audience suggested that maybe if you can turn off other items that are using the Wi-Fi connection, that might help. So that was a suggestion.
Yeah, I don't know what happens in the house because it's only me. It's only myself in the house, but I have better connection now.
Evelyn, you just froze up again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry about that. So I was saying that it was only me in the house. I don't know why this is happening. And I moved closer to the tower and the and all the equipment that have the connection. And I thought it was going to be better, but let's see how we do it. If I have to repeat it again at some point, don't worry about it. I'll be happy to do so. So key resources, the key resources your business relies upon and uses in order to operate and provide services. The key resources are linked to your business key activities. Key resources in the business model canvas are the main inputs and assets the business uses to function effectively. It could be plant and equipment, for example, buildings, employees, intellectual property, computer software, expert knowledge, political connections. I mean, there are plenty of resources that you can use in order to bring the key activities effectively to your clients. Okay, and I'm going a little fast because I would like to know your thoughts and some questions that you may have.
Let's back up for a moment because we have a question about the key activities. Can you give examples of key activities?
Yes, of course. The key activities depends on the type of business that you are working on. Let's say that I have a distribution center, for example, and my activity has to do with the logistics of bringing products from overseas, for example. So my activities are managing those products coming into the United States, clearing all the permits concerning this product to be allowed to be sold in the United States. And then other activities will be making sure that those products are actually being distributed in that you are working on, because if you are providing.
You froze up again, but what I'm going to suggest is you turn off your video. Let's see if we just have your audio, if that will improve it. So if you could circle back, you were answering the question about examples of key activities.
Correct. So yes, so if you are bringing a product from another country, the activities will be different from if you are providing a service. I was saying that if you are bringing a product from abroad, you will make sure that the logistics of transportation are done in time, effectively, in the way that you can have these products delivered to your customers when it's time to be delivered without major issues, if any, or challenges, I would say. For services would be easier because you don't have to use transportation. You don't have to ask for permission to bring something into the country, for example. So it would be easier, but it depends on the type of business that you are doing. Your activities will be different. And then we explain the key resources and we go to key partners. Key partners is the list of partnerships that your business has that relies upon for success. Like me having a partnership with a company capital, I use the resources to provide additional support for my clients, and that's an example. It includes the resources or value your business gets from these partnerships. Example, providers of services or manufacturers of products. Once again, when you have partnership, it allows you to utilize their resources for your business. It could be a partnership for products. Maybe you use this company to provide the containers for your facial creams or beauty products or something like that. So the more key partners have, more to do resources.
Evelyn, your audio cut out again. I'm so sorry. Can you just circle back? You were talking about examples of the partnerships.
Yes. So I was saying, I was just checking my internet connection, but it says that everything is good. I didn't want to lag out because I didn't want to leave you hanging, but I tried to do that just in case. I was saying that your partnerships will allow you to utilize the services or other resources that they have for your business. You can learn a lot from your partners as well, because they could have experience on the area that you are serving, and they can actually provide that service. Maybe it's a product that you are using. Maybe they can provide other support, like, okay, I provide the bottles, but I know this company that can provide the caps for your product. As you develop your product, you will find out that you need partners in order to help you, either for services or products. So it's a great idea to have multiple partners that can help you grow your business. Next, cost structure. it identifies the primary costs associated with operating your business and avoiding your services, then detail the relationship between this cost and other business functions. The cost structure is for you to identify how you are going to, first of all, to generate money and how you are going to invest the money in that company. If you are not generating money, what we call startup cost is you need to analyze how much you are planning to invest in your business. And then from there, you have to say, this is what I have available, and this is how I'm going to spend it in the business, and so on. Once you start generating money, now you will see your cost structure come from sales, development, tools, this. So it's always a good idea to have an Excel and explain all these numbers in order for you to understand if you are growing, if you are actually breaking even already, if you are making a profit. So you need to have control of your financials. So the cost structure will help you do so, to understand all this.
Thanks.
Once you have information that you have researched already a lot, because you will have to do a lot of research in order for you to understand all these elements of the business model canvas, then it will look more or less like this. You will have information and you can do actually like a sticky notes, and you can say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to need, this is how I'm going to utilize the resources, these are my partners, and you click all this into your business model canvas. So it will look more likely like this. Okay, once it doesn't have to be completed, but at least you have started actually inputting information in your business model canvas. Next. And then once you finish, it may look like this. It may look a little more with more information, more succinct in the way that you have collected a lot of information already, but you have a clear understanding of where you have to go now. Okay, so once it's finished or almost finished, it will look more or less like this. Really, really easy. It's not complicated. The most is to find a way to do your research efficiently and input all this information the more, I would say, effectively as possible, because you don't want to add a lot of information, but you want to add what is important in the business model canvas. Next. And I thank you so much.
Evelyn, your audio cut out again. I'm so sorry. If you could just repeat your close, and then we're going to open it up for questions for everybody, from everybody.
No problem. I was saying that I apologize for the inconvenience of the connection, but I believe you sent all the slides to everybody, to all the participants.
Yes, they'll be going out tomorrow. And then we can also make some links to some other videos where people talk about the business model canvas. We can also provide those as resources as well.
Yes, please. And if they have any question, further in regards to the business model canvas, I'll be happy to provide it. Like I say, I apologize for the inconvenience of the connection. I tried to fix it, but I don't know what is going on. But I'm here to answer any question.
Okay, so can you articulate the difference between a business model canvas and a business plan?
That is a great question. When you do the business model canvas, it's a more succinct way of writing a business plan, and it's mostly used to pitch your idea to investors, maybe a lender as well. But it's also a good idea because you don't have to write as much as we have to do in a conventional business plan, that you have to provide a lot of written information, a lot of graphs. You have to develop what you talk about in those graphs or photos, and you have to do a more intense research on different areas of that business plan.
Thanks. So you guys, we have plenty of time for your questions. So I'm going to actually bring up that business model canvas again, the template, so you can see the overview. So I'm going to actually take us back to that initial slide where we talk about the market, customers, and segments. You can see each of the items that Evelyn detailed specifically and what you fill out in those areas. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the chat and see what questions people have. Do you offer research assistance in terms of good information sources to answer the business model canvas sections? For example, how do you research operational costs in a very particular sector?
That is a great question because we do. At the SBDC, we have a research department up in Albany that does research only for SBDC clients. So they can ask whatever they want to find out for any type of business plan. And they will go ahead and put a package, a research package together. And you can use that information for any type of business plan. And yes, in different industry, there are different specific information, so they can actually work with that industry that you have requested research.
And so can you repeat who they could reach out to for that assistance? You said there's some resource that could do that. And can you repeat that? We have a question.
Yes, it is the research department at the SBDC, so they can actually send me the questions and I can ask their researcher, the librarians, to put a package together, and they will do so. So we can use that information.
So the resource partner at the SBDC.
That is correct.
For a retail business, will the vendors or wholesalers be considered key partners? Would those be key partners?
Both, because your vendors will be the, yeah, both. They could be the same, because when you use wholesalers, you can use, anybody, manufacturer, to actually be your key partners for the business.
Great. So go ahead, submit your questions. I'll also say our mentors who are going to be working with the teams tonight, you are also welcome to ask questions via the chat. So just let me know what questions you have. Following the Q&A, we're going to have the team presentations for teams 1 through 5, and then we will break out into the mentored work sessions. So I'll give it just a moment for any other questions that people have. Again, you will receive the slides. I apologize. The beginning of this recording got cut off, so it will start, I believe, a couple slides in. But again, we will make the slides available to you, and we will also send you some links to resources related to the business model canvas, because it's great information, but we know we went through it quickly.
And so, Kendra, I also said that I wanted to share one of the databases that I use for when I'm doing research for any type of business plan, but I'm not allowed to share the screen. But if you have a moment, you can go to Statista.
Okay,
and
let me pull it up. Yeah. Just 1 second. What is it?
Statista, STAISTA.
STAIVSTA.
Yeah, let me see. Statista. Yeah, there you go. Statista. And when we go there, we can research anything. For example, we can go ahead and do a research on coffee consumption in the US. Let me see if I can bring you the link. And it will let you know, how is the coffee consumed in the United States. If you want to search who mostly drinks coffee, they will let you know. Let me see, I'm just trying to do a search to see if I can find something in USA.
Here's a question for you. Can you mark or code the business plan canvas to show progress against goals?
Yes. Once you start writing a business plan, it doesn't matter what type of business plan you are writing. You want to set goals and you want to keep track of that, because it's the way that you will have an understanding of if you are achieving those goals, what do you have to do to achieve it? And so far, what have you done and what you need to do? And when you have goals, it's a good idea if you are not achieving them.
Can you repeat what you just said? Because we have some confusion on what Statista is.
On what one? Statista?
Yeah, and can you spell it again or put it into chat? Because I will look up the website, but I think I may have typed it in wrong. Okay, great.
No,
Thank
no problem.
you. I'm going to bring it up and share it with everybody. Thank you.
Exactly, and I put it also.
Okay, great. I'm going to bring it up for everybody now. Okay, sure. So this is the website.
Correct. And you can do any search on anything that you want to find out. For example, coffee consumption in the US, and it will give you amazing results. If it asks you to pay, you don't have to pay for the research because it could be $500. And actually our librarians can find that for you for free because they have access to all these databases. And you can utilize that information as a copy and paste into your business plan. You just have to credit the source and say where you got it from.
Okay, so you can see that this information is available to you. You can view for free, and then you would just have to sign up and you could get some free access to this, it looks like. So
yes, so even without signing up, there are free information that you can find. They give you graphs and they tell you in the United States in 2020, the consumption for coffee, for example, it was 5 cups per day per person, and it gave us revenues of such billions of dollars. So we utilize all this information for any type of business plan. We just when they give us a graph.
Okay, thank you for that. So, okay, can you also share a link to the SBDC and put that into chat? That would be great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Lisa.
Yes, of course.
Let's see what other questions that we have. So we've answered those questions. Any other questions people have before we move into the team presentations? I'm just going to bring it up one last time. So are people clear? Do people have an understanding of the various components of the business model canvas and how you'll look at your market and customer segments? You'll look at your customer relations, your channels, and think through all of this information. Now, as Evelyn said, this is a business plan light, right? It provides that information. It's a way to organize your information, but it's a more visual format, and it's more of a higher level format than if you were to go into a detailed business plan. Is that correct, Evelyn? Would you say that's a fair characterization?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. Question: how is the business model canvas different from what people are presenting today? And maybe Mary Tan can address that question. Because in today's session, people are going to be talking about their team, providing some basics about their project. So Mary, can you speak to how the business model canvas and developing this plan is different than what is being presented today?
Okay. So that was really helpful, Evelyn. Thank you so much for taking us through this. The business model canvas is a great tool. It is completely different from business plans because, as Kendra and Evelyn have said, it gives you a very strategic view of thinking about your business. The biggest difference between one and the other is that business plans need numbers. Business model canvas does not. And when I mentor people, I usually ask them to do the model canvas first because, and I've seen many, many business plans, business competitions like the libraries have, they love business plans. But having seen many of them, I usually find most of them kind of worthless. And the reason they're worthless is because people haven't really thought through the fundamental assumptions. They are not clear on who their target is. Now, Evelyn had mentioned personas. You don't need to go down to that level. They're really talking about what segments. Can you go to slide 23, please?
Is this it? I
No.
don't have numbers.
You know what? Let me jump in and start sharing my slides, because what I'd like to do is just, build on what, let me see if I can do that. What I'd like to do is build on the things that, let me see if I can do that. Why is this not allowing me to do that?
It should allow you. Let me just check it again. Yep, you can present.
Right, it's technology. Love it until it lets you down. Okay.
I received a question about, for the presentations tonight, can you share your slides? Yes, you can share slides during your presentation tonight.
Yes.
Back to you, Mary.
Okay, so this is the slide that Evelyn showed earlier. And that gives you an idea of how you need to be thinking top down. So customer segments would be landlords, roommates, sharing roommates, and so forth. You don't quite need to go down to the persona, not yet. It's really taking the step back and figure out what groups of people are going to be critical to your success. And when we talk about the relationship you have to figure out, are you going to be the expert? Are you going to be the person? Are you going to give them one-on-one counseling? If you're a personal stylist, the relationship you're going to develop with them is going to be very personal. It's based on building trust. Or are you going to automate? Are you going to be doing, are you trying to create a platform that's self-service? Then you need to think about, okay, it's going to be self-service, but you're going to need to have excellent customer service behind and technical support. By channels, it's still not about communications, but rather, how are you going to deliver your service? Are you going to be online? Are you going to send it to the grocery stores? Are you running a delivery service? And this is why it's important for you to start at the top. And the heart of this is value proposition. What is, what are you offering that's different and better? And I would not put pricing in there, because one of the things I tell people is get used to the fact you're going to be premium, period, stop. Because you can never compete with the big guys. And what you don't want to do is drive to the bottom, because if you do that, you're going to run out of business, because you're in this to make money. So the key activities flow from that. Again, looking at the top. When you talk about key activities, don't think about, gotta call so-and-so. That's too granular. If you've got a product, let's say you're making a food product, you have to think about a key activity is how to get licensing. Do I have a handler license? Have I checked all the licensing requirements? You need to start at the top before you get into the nitty-gritty. And this is a perfect opportunity for you to take the time to think through your assumptions. By revenue streams, don't even begin running numbers yet. Think about, where am I going to make money? Am I going to be just selling direct? Do I want to do subscriptions? Am I going to do flat fees? Are they one-off? This is the time for you to sit down and talk with your partners and say, to what extent do we want to get involved? So what Evelyn told you is great, but before you get into some of the numbers, I strongly encourage all of you to take the step back, do the research. And she's given you great opportunities. The research will tell you what segments you want to go, because at the end of the day, you will succeed if there's enough people who are willing to pay a price to buy your product and service. That's where it starts. And that's where you need to spend the research. And cost structure matters because you want to know what is your cost going to be driven by? Because once you figure that out, then you can do the research later when you build your business plan to figure out how am I going to manage that? What needs to go in? So I hope that was helpful because it builds on what Evelyn was saying. And, between the two of us, I hope you get a clear idea of what you need to do first, what you need to do second. So before I move on, and are there any other questions?
I just want to be clear, going back to that question, what in terms of what you're presenting today, it's a outline. I mean, it's a rough sketch. And then with the business model canvas, you're going to be doing a deeper dive, not as deep as a business plan, because you're not getting to the numbers, like Mary said, but tonight you're going to present your sketch, and then you're going to, in your groups tonight, work on applying the business model canvas. I sent you some questions to engage with your team on, and we'll show you a slide with that, but you also have that in the email that I sent you. Mary, right now we can see all of your slides. Just so
All
you
of them?
know. Yeah.
That is very odd. It shouldn't happen. Okay, is this better?
But that's okay. That's okay. We can go ahead and go like that. So
Go slideshow. Is this okay? Does this work?
yes, that's better.
Okay. Okay. So you met me last time. My name is Mary Tan.